So today I simply want to talk about self-care. When you are working with people, as we all are, it is important to take some time for self-care. Not only do I do real estate, but I also work in the social work field. I am a mom of 2 children. I'm a military spouse. And so sometimes life can get a little overwhelming. And so it's important that we take some time, or at least for me to take some time to step back, away from children, kids. Okay, moms, it's okay to say that we need a break from our children. But sometimes I just need to step back from my kids. I need to step back from my spouse. I need to step back from real estate. I need to step back from social work and take care of myself. And in doing that, I feel like I'm rejuvenated, I'm revived, and I'm just a better person, okay? I'm coming down from that anxiety tip and all of those, that feeling due to everything that I have going on. So I just want to welcome you in on my self-care. As you can see, I am in a getaway cabin. I don't know if you've ever heard of getaway houses, but I'm here, I'm getting away, I'm alone, I'm by myself. This just gives me the time to center myself through prayer. I don't know how many of you praying people are out there, but this gives me a time just to pray, reflect, do a little bit of journaling. I already have one entry of what I am grateful for. And of course, we always hear people say, think about what you're grateful for, write about what you're grateful for. But it feels good to really sit down and take the time to do it. I actually, even though I've always known of the idea of, gratitude journaling, I was reminded by looking at one of the books that they actually have here in the getaway cabin, which is called Getting Away. So last night, because I did come yesterday evening, so I've been here a night already, but I decided to grab this book and just look through it. And it talks about getting away. It talks about self-care, balancing yourself, keeping a gratitude journal. And so before I went to bed last night, I decided to write in my journal about what I was grateful for. I would share with you, but I think I'm just going to leave it to myself. Okay. So I am going to give you a little tour of my cabin. It is called Natalia. I don't know if you've ever been to a getaway house, but each house has a name to it. I think they go like through the entire alphabet from A to Z. And so I am in the Natalia cabin, which is they're so cute. So cute. So I will give you a tour of my cabin in just a minute, but I just want to come on and encourage you, or talk to you, not come on, but talk to you about taking care of yourself, because it's very, very, very important. I believe that there are, God is always speaking to us, but if we're always busy, if we're always hustling and bustling and grinding and taking care of everybody else, and never really taking that time to settle down and get away, getting out into nature, get into a place of solitude, then we won't be able to hear. And so my goal this weekend is just to get away, to be able to hear, to be able to have a conversation with God, to be able to hear from God, to be able to get direction from God, because I need it. And so I am so grateful for the opportunity to do that. I know a lot of people are not able to do that, but God graced me this time just to be able to get away and spend some alone time with myself. I just believe that there are things that are, that I am on the cusp of a transition, really in the midst of a transition. And sometimes in transitions there may be a lot of turbulence, there may be a lot of anxiety, there may be a lot of pressure, just a lot of trembling emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and even physically, financially even. And when you're in that transition, things can get so rough to where you kind of want to run away, or you're like, God, forget it. I don't want to go through this. And sometimes we think because it's rough during the transition that it's the devil, but it's really, God preparing us for the other side. Nothing is pretty. Okay, everything, when you're trying to get to the other side, it doesn't always look pretty. But God does keep us in the midst of a transition or a turbulent transition. So, okay. So yeah, I know that I'm usually talking more about real estate and my journey in becoming a real estate agent. But today, I just wanted to encourage you all to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, taking some time for self-care, taking some time to get away, taking some time to pray and reflect, and getting centered and being one with yourself, and just experiencing the creation, the nature of God, so that you can truly hear his voice and just get back to that place. Many of us, especially women, we tend to lose ourselves in our children, in our marriages, and in trying to just be everything for everybody else. We lose ourselves. We forget who we are. And we forget our purpose. We forget our passion. We just forget so much of our heart's desires. Okay? But it's important that we get along so that we can be reminded of who we are, be reminded of our purpose, be reminded of our power, our passion, and why we were sent here on this earth. Even why we're doing real estate. If you are a real estate agent, or if you're somebody that's wanting to buy a home, sometimes we have the goals to buy a home, but because things happen in our lives, or things are happening and we're so busy thinking about everybody else, we forget our why. Why do we want to buy a new home? Maybe you're someone that's renting a home and you know that it's time for you to buy a home, but you're so busy with everybody else and everything else. And, it's taking a lot of your energy. It's taking a lot of your finances. I think it's just important that we all get back to the place of why. If you're a real estate agent, why are you a real estate agent? Why did you get into this industry? If you're someone that's wanting to buy a home and things just don't seem to be working out, and you're getting depressed and you're getting anxious, get back to that place of why you're wanting to buy a home, why you're wanting to build a better future for your family. Maybe you're someone that wants to sell your home because you know that it's time for you to transition to another location or to something bigger. Or maybe you even need to downsize and things just seem like they're not working out as far as you selling your home. Get back to the why. And I think that's what many of us need to do. Is just really get back to the why. Why were we created to be here? Why were we sent here? Why are we in this industry, or whatever industry that you're in? Why? Are you there just to make money, or are you there to make a difference? And I think for me, I'm talking about for me, I don't know if anybody can resonate with this, but I just think that we get caught up in the pain of life, in the thorns and thistles of life. Maybe even the rejection that we experience in life, that we forget our why. We forget why we stepped out of the boat in the first place. Okay? And then when we forget our why, we kind of get like Peter. I don't know if there are any Bible readers out there, but many people know about the story of Peter when he got out of the boat, when he saw Jesus in the water and he wanted to go where Jesus was, and Jesus told him to come, and Peter got out into the water, and at first he was walking on it, and then I believe Peter probably forgot his why. Okay, why he got out the boat in the first place. And when he forgot all about it, he began to sink. Now that's my version. I don't want any of you people that know the Bible to try to come after me. I'm just kind of tying the two there. You know, when we forget our why, that's when we begin to sink. When we start thinking about the pain that we've gone through, and we start holding on to that pain, and we start holding on to that rejection, and, you know, whatever it is that we've gone through, it causes us to forget our why. And we just begin to sink. We begin to become anxious and depressed, and we fall off. Okay. Now, I'm going to share one last thing with you, and then I'm going to get off. I know this is kind of long, and I'm just talking. In the talking about the why and allowing rejection and all that kind of stuff to weigh us down, about a couple of weeks ago, I was in the kitchen cooking, and I was listening to a message, and it was talking about rejection. And you know, many times we become upset and bitter and angry and all kind of bent out of shape when we have been rejected, or we're going through a season of rejection. And instead of staying rooted in our why, okay, I'm connecting it to the why. Stay with me. And instead of staying in our why, we allow the rejection to get us off track. Okay. So I was in the kitchen. I was listening to the message. It was about rejection. And the message obviously was so powerful to my spirit, because as the woman was talking, and I've heard many messages about rejection, but I've never had this experience. Okay. Maybe it was just time for God to break through, you know, to my hard heart. Maybe it was just time for me to hear what God was saying, because I've heard many messages and sermons about rejection, but this time it was different. I don't think it was anything different that I've heard before. It could just be the timing. Okay. Now that's a powerful word too, timing. Many times we're bent out of shape because things are not happening in the timing that we want it to happen, but God is saying it's not time. But when it is time, you'll know that it's time. So I'm saying all that to say is, even though I've heard these messages many of time about rejection by different people, all powerful messages, at this particular time, with this particular message on rejection, nothing different about it, nothing that I've heard different, I begin to feel a breaking in my heart, a breaking in my soul. In the kitchen cooking, just listening to this message. And I said to myself, I immediately said, oh God, you are about to break me through this message. That's what I said to God. I knew at that moment what God was about to do in me. I could feel it. And y'all, I'm someone that grew up in church. I'm actually a licensed minister. I usually don't tell people that because I feel like sometimes when you tell people that, they kind of you feel judged. Even us, people of the cloth, feel judged, and we feel like, people don't want to be themselves around us. So I usually don't tell people that, but I'm only telling you this because what I'm saying is, in my life, I know the voice of God. I understand how God speaks to me. So in that moment, getting back to that, I felt a breaking in my heart. I felt a breaking in my soul. And I just immediately within myself, I said, oh God, I said, you are about to break me. You're about to use this message to break me. You're about to use this message to shake something up on the inside of me, aren't you? That's what I said to God. And right after I said that, I heard God say, Jackie, you're going in the wrong direction. He said, you're going in the wrong direction. And I immediately knew what he meant, because I had allowed rejection from people to cause me to close myself off from people, to cause myself to not be the person that I know God called me to be to people, which is a woman of encouragement, a woman of love, a woman of openness, a vessel that God can use in order to pour into other people's lives. Because to be honest with you, when you feel like you've been rejected and really rejected a lot, you kind of close yourself off. You kind of don't let your light shine the way it used to. And so that's what I did. And God told me, he said, Jackie, you're going in the wrong direction. You've closed yourself off from being a vessel for me. You've closed yourself off from being a woman of the word in other people's lives, or encouraging other people, pouring into them, giving them a prophetic word, letting them know about my love for them. And you've turned yourself off from that. You've closed yourself off. So you're going in the wrong direction. And so I say all that to say is that because of rejection, I forgot my why. I forgot my why of why God called me to be a vessel, why God called me to be an encourager, why God called me to be a woman of word, a woman of prayer, a woman of faith, why God called me to be a woman of purpose, why he sent me to this earth. I got so filled with all of that negativity because of rejection, and I got filled with all of the disappointment and anxiety and all of that foolishness that I forgot my why. And so maybe you have forgotten your why because of, again, the pain that you've experienced in life, the rejection, the heartache, the disappointment, whatever it is, the setbacks. And so I want to encourage you this morning to let all of that stuff go. This is God reminding you to get back to your why. This is God letting you know, hey, you're going in the wrong direction. Don't go to that place of darkness and negativity, and don't sit in that place of rejection. Don't sit in that place of pain, because it's causing you to be a person that he didn't create you to be. It's causing you to make decisions that he hasn't told you to make. It's causing you to not be the bright light that he's created you to be. So y'all, I had to repent. Okay. I had to say, Lord, forgive me for going in the wrong direction. I turned. Is the Bible, that scripture that says, if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves, okay, pray, turn from their wicked ways, then I will heal their land. So I had to repent. And I had to say, okay, God, I'm going to go in the right direction. So I encourage you this morning, if you are a realtor or someone that works in social work, whatever field that you work in, don't forget your why. Don't forget why you are there. Don't forget why God has sent you. Don't forget the why for those of you that are trying to buy a house. Don't forget your why of why you're trying to do that and create a better life for your family. For those of you that are selling your home, don't forget your why. Maybe God is trying to transition you into a new place. Don't forget that. Don't get discouraged because of the turbulence that you are experiencing, because of the pain that you are experiencing or have experienced. Don't forget your why. Know that God is with you. He's going to heal your heart. He's going to make all things new. He's going to help you get to the place that you're trying to get to. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. And in my time of getting away, I hope that blessed y'all. Okay? I hope it blessed you. All right. In just a minute, I'm going to give you a little tour of my cabin. And you all have a great day. And don't forget, I'm Jacqueline Stewart, your realtor. Have a great day. Bye-bye.